Hey, you're finally back. You have to go see Zardes right away. There's a problem.
That I certainly believe.
All hell's broken loose since you left. Talk to Zardes. He's waiting for you.
The ornament has been put back together. Since you brought us the necessary fragments, you should also set them into the portal.
Too late for you anyway. Raven is opening the temple right now. Ha ha ha! Die, bastard!
Try to remember.
It was so long ago.
I've had it. Let us begin.
Are you in such a hurry to die? Well, since you insist.
Who are you?
My name is Pandador, and you would be well advised if you crawl back under the rock from whence you came.
Silence! With the power of the sacred eye which has been bestowed upon me, I order you to answer my questions.
Ask away then. Your knowledge will not help you.
Who are you?
I am Finkreg, Lord of Ice and Snow, Guardian of the Congress, and ultimately, your death. I simply cannot believe that there are truly still people who will forfeit their lives merely to see a dragon in the flesh.
I haven't just come to see you. I rather had something more radical in mind, I'm afraid.
You do not mean to say that you wish to challenge me? Ha ha ha! I shall break your scrawny neck.
Not so fast, my friend. I carry the Eye of Inus with me. You cannot resist my will. Answer my questions or the agony will be unbearable for you.
Ah! Then pose your ridiculous questions while you still can. Your power will not last long. Yet another presumptuous mite who dared to climb my rock. You little humans, so brave and yet so fragile. I shall tear out your entrails and feed them to the rats.
Not so fast. I bear the Eye of Innos. You will obey me and answer my questions.
Ask your questions.
Who are you?
I am called Padrakan, and I shall slowly skin you alive when I catch you.
Kraknar! Master say you paladin now. Master right. Master always right. Us leaders of proud orc army now come ourselves for killing great paladin. Hagen and his men be wiped out. Even you no can help them.
Okay, just try it.
Ooh, I can't wait.
He should have known better. That's totally obvious.
Same old thing, all over again.
That's nothing new. Why haven't
You're right. Corinus is a dump. I'm coming with you. Wait, I'll be ready in a second. Well, I'm ready. I'll see you at the ship.
Stay, human. All of my senses tell me that the murderer of my own flesh and blood stands before me.
Really? Who are you calling a murderer, you hellspawn?
You have my brother Fiomather on your conscience, and you will pay for that.
Stop making so much noise. Let's get down to business.
So now you've managed to find me. I've waited all too long for your arrival.
And the humans slew the beast, and it entered into Beliar's realm.
Zardos! What exactly happened in the Temple of Irdarath?
With the help of Innos, you have defeated the Avatar of Evil. And I have taken its power unto myself. Since I left the Circle of Fire, this alone has been my goal. What was denied to me in the Temple of the Sleeper has now finally come to pass. Beliar has chosen me.
Cast off!
So, you obey the God of Darkness now?
No, I do not obey Beliar any more than you obey Innos. Not even the gods know what fate has in store for us. single prisoner altered the fate of hundreds. But he paid a high price for it. Defeated the sleeper, destroyed the barrier. But while all the other prisoners escaped, he remained behind in the rubble. It was I who dispatched him against the sleeper. Now it is I who brings him back from there. He is weak and has forgotten much. But he is alive. He's back.
There you are again. I never thought the two of us would meet again.
I feel like I spent 3 weeks lying under a load of rocks.
Well, so you did. Only the magic within your armor kept you alive. I had feared I might not be able to rescue you from the debris of the temple, but enough of that. You're here now. There's a new threat that we have to deal with.
At least we have enough time now. I did it. The sleeper
has been banned. You vanquished him, so much is true. But it's not within our power to stop the war that ensues now. With his final furious scream, the sleeper has set into movement the armies of darkness. It was an order to all evil creatures, a word of power that they were all bound to obey. His last order was, "Come!" And they came, all of them, even the dragons.
Dragons?
They are creatures of an ancient power. I can sense their presence, even here. And they have gathered an entire army of lowly servant creatures around them.
Where's this army now?
The army is camped not far from here, in the Valley of Mines near Corinus, and they're getting ready to attack. But that's not all. There is another threat of which I have learned only recently. After the fall of the barrier and the banishment of the sleeper, Beliar's wrath has grown even greater. A mighty artifact, so it is written in the old scriptures, will be brought back to this world when the god of darkness sends his henchmen out to search. This search has long since begun. Beliar's henchmen are desecrating the oldest shrines of the gods. The guardians of these holy places have awakened, and their wrath makes the earth tremble. Every powerful magician on this island could sense this wrath. And some of them have certainly begun to face the threat. You must become their ally. That's the only way to stop Beliar.
What can we do?
This time we cannot handle it by ourselves. Only the power of Immerse will help us against these dragons. A group of paladins is stationed in the city of Corinus, not far from here. They possess a powerful artifact which could help us to defeat the dragons. They call it the Eye of Immerse. You need to get hold of this artifact. Tell the paladins about the threat. You must convince their leader to support us. And once you have talked to him, you need to find the artifact of Beliar. It is the counterpiece to the Eye of Enos. It must not fall into the hands of evil.
What exactly is the Eye of Enos?
It's an amulet. Legend has it that Enos himself was poured part of his power into this amulet. It will restore some of your lost strength and help us defeat the dragons. It also has some other hidden powers. I shall tell you more about that once the amulet is yours.
Why would the Paladins give me the Eye of Enos?
Because you are the one who is destined to wear it.
How can you claim to know that?
There are a number of reasons, the most important being you have defeated the Sleeper. If you weren't a favorite of the gods, you'd be dead by now.
Let's assume you're right and I'm destined to bear the Eye of Enos. How would the Paladins know that's true?
The Eye itself chooses the one who may wear it. Once you get hold of it and put it on, the Paladins cannot doubt your words any longer.
How can I get to the city?
Just follow the path from here through the mountains. The city is large. You cannot miss it, but watch out. The path to town is not without dangers, and you aren't nearly as strong as you once were.
I need weapons.
I can only give you whatever little I have here. Look around in my tower. Anything that looks useful to you, you can have.
I'll be on my way as fast as I can.
Good. And one more thing. Don't tell anyone that you've talked to me. Above all, don't tell any magician. Since I have gone into exile, the Circle of Fire has taken me for dead, and that's a good thing.
What with? Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there.
Is that you? Really? Man, am I glad to see you.
Lester, how did you get here?
That was a crazy escape. After the barrier exploded, I wandered around the area for a while in total confusion. Then I spent days fighting my way through these woods until I finally found this valley here. Diego, Milton, and Gorn are still in the Valley of Mines. At least, I think so.
What happened?
After the Sleeper was defeated, the entire Brotherhood lost their minds. Without their master, they were all just empty husks.
And you? What about you?
It was the same for me. I had nightmares and even hallucinations. But once my head was more or less clear again, I ran for it. Once, I thought I saw a huge black shadow pounce on a group of fugitives and burn them all up in a giant cloud of fire. At that moment, I really thought a dragon had come to kill me.
Did you see anything else?
No. I took to my heels and ran.
I'm on my way to Corinus. What do you know about the town?
Corinus? Well, it's a seaport. Nothing special. Why do you ask?
I must go and see the paladins who are said to be in town.
Really? They won't even let you into the town. And certainly not to where the paladins are.
Do you have any suggestions how I could get into town?
I certainly do. I worked for an old alchemist named Constantino some time ago. He has great influence in the city, and he's instructed the guards at the gate to let anyone through who can sell him rare herbs. So it's quite easy, really. You collect a large bunch of the plants that grow here all over the place, and then you pretend you're working for Constantino, and in you go. But don't collect a mix of this and that. The guards aren't all that bright, and they know nothing about alchemy. The bundle needs to look good to them if you want to get through. I think that 10 specimens of the same kind of plant should do the trick.
Thanks for the hint.
How long have you been hiding out in this valley?
I don't know exactly. A week, maybe? But there's one more thing. When I came here in the evening, I took a look up on the mountain, and there were only a few trees there. And when I looked the next morning, that tower was there. I could have sworn it wasn't there before. Since then, I haven't left the valley.
You mean Zardas's tower? I knew he was powerful, but creating a tower just like that...
Zardas the necromancer? He lives in that tower? I don't know if I like that.
Don't worry, he's the one who rescued me from the Sleeper's Temple. He's on our side. You need to tell Zardas about the shadow. It could be important.
You don't think it was my imagination? You mean there really was a...
Dragon, yes.
You're getting into the thick of it again, am I right?
I shouldn't say in the thick of it, not yet.
Well, good. If it's so important, then I'll go see him. But not now. For the moment, I'm going to rest. I'm still exhausted after the escape from the penal colony. I think you've got big plans. I'll see you later at Zardas's.
What do you know about the area?
If you keep going down that way, you'll come to a farm. The city starts a little way beyond that, but be careful. There's not just wolves and rats hanging around here. There's goblins and bandits, too.
Hey, you! Can you tell me anything about this stone tablet?
First, I suspected it might be a magical artifact, but I finally concluded that it is not of any great significance. I have not been able to decode the meaning of this tablet entirely, but it seems to concern the history of a very old culture. If you want the tablet, it's yours. I have no use for it.
Where?
As I already said, I have rebuilt.
But it's only
the servants I summoned to.
You can say that again. Where can I find
the closest place where you can get? But down in the valley, you can find some healing herb. See the lake right in front of my tower.
Why?
I used to be, but I could never. So I left the. That is a crime for which they are certain that I'm still alive.
So what?
We shall proceed. You can go get.
One less monster around.
Hey, you!
Trouble? Damn. I don't know where they're all hiding. You kill one, and shortly afterwards they're all back again. Wait a moment. I know you. You're the fellow who was constantly baking arrows for me in the Valley of Mines.
Your name is Cavalorn, right?
Ah, I see you haven't forgotten me after all we went through in the cursed colony. Where are you heading?
Back to the Valley of Mines.
Really? I wish I could follow you, but I have to finish my duties here first. When you're in the Valley of Mines, could you please look around and see if my old hut is still standing? I'd like to return there one day.
Interesting armor you're wearing. Don't you belong to the Shadows anymore?
Shadows? They haven't existed since the fall of the barrier. The moment we could finally leave the Valley of Mines, there was no reason for me to stick with them. Now I work for the Water Mages. I belong to the Ring of Water.
What are you doing here?
I'm sitting tight. If it hadn't been for these damn bandits, I wouldn't be here.
Tell me more about the Ring of Water.
I'm not really allowed to talk about it. All I can do is send you to Vatras. He is the representative of the water mages in Corinus. The best thing would be to talk to him. Tell him you've come from me. Maybe he'll take you on as one of us. We urgently need more good people.
Weren't you and your people enemies of the water mages back then?
Those crazy old days are over. There isn't any more new camp or old camp. Now that the penal colony no longer exists, everyone is on his own. Most of us former prisoners are still being hunted. The water mages were able to get my sentence commuted, and now I can move about freely.
What are the water mages doing now?
They're up to something big. It has to do with an unknown region of the island.
An unknown region? Where is it supposed to be?
I can't tell you more. Talk to Vatras in Corinus.
What was that about bandits?
Have you slept through the last few weeks?
Huh?
I'm talking about all the riffraff from the penal colony that are making themselves at home here in the area, plundering and murdering for all they're worth. I guess I'm lucky they didn't kill me. I let down my guard for one moment, and they clubbed me from behind. No idea how I'll get all my stuff back now.
You were robbed by the bandits?
Yes. They beat me down and tossed me to the goblins for lunch. It was damned important stuff. A letter and all my money. I absolutely have to get it back. But without someone to watch my back, I'm not going back there. That cowardly rabble.
Hey, where do you come from?
I've come from the mountains.
Exactly. You come from the mountains, and that is bad for you. Very bad. They're looking for you. A whole bunch of evil guys. There's someone here you absolutely have to talk to. Follow me.
Who's looking for me?
Half of Corinus is after you, and you're trying to tell me that you don't know anything about it? Ah, I see. You just don't want to talk to me about it, All right, it's your business. So, you coming or not?
Maybe later.
There won't be a later for you, pal.
Hey! Can I help you with the bandits?
Maybe. But as scrawny as you look, you surely haven't held a proper sword in your hand for weeks. Well, I don't have any choice but to take your offer. My time is running out, so pay attention. Down this path here, you'll find one of those filthy holes in the ground that bandits like to hide in. The fellows there are the same ones who stole my stuff. Let me know when you're ready, and we'll nab the rabble.
I need better...
Those swine haven't left me much. I can give you a wolf knife. Will that do for now?
You call that a knife? But what about healing?
I still have 2 healing potions here. Interested?
Sure, give them here. Let's mix it up with those guys.
Sure thing. Just keep my back clear, okay? Now they're in for a nasty surprise.
You shouldn't have come here.
You deserve that, lowlife. You poor sucker. You don't even have any gold on you. So, that's done. Ha! They shouldn't have messed with me. Then I can finally fulfill my mission. I've lost too much time already.
What sort of mission?
Yeah. First I have to get into the city, and then later... I don't know how I'm going to get all that done in time.
What about me?
Why not? You could take the letter into the city. Then I'll have a bit more time to take care of my equipment. One of the bandits must have the letter in his pocket. Take it to Vatras, the water mage in the city. You'll find him in the Temple of Adenos. He preaches there all day. Tell him that I wasn't able to get it done. And if he asks where I am, just tell him I'm already on my way to the meeting point. Okay? Oh yeah, one more thing. First buy some decent clothes from the farmers. Otherwise, you may be taken for a bandit. Here's a couple of coins.
Can you teach me something?
Sure. You know that. Man, they really took a lot out of you. You can't remember anything at all, can you?
I want to learn your abilities.
Sure. What do you want to know? With soft souls, you have a better chance of getting... That's better. You've forgotten a lot since then, but we'll get it back.
nothing to plunder.
Who do we have here? You're on your way to the city. Am I not right?
Maybe.
You look like a fugitive. All fugitives are headed for the city. You could even be a former convict for the mining colony. I don't care where you come from, but I believe I have an interesting offer for you.
What do you have to offer?
The way you look, the guards will never let you into the city. I can help you get into the city. I have here a small piece of paper with the royal seal and the governor's signature. A pass. With this scrap of paper in your pocket, you can run about as raggedly as you please, and the guards will leave you alone. Interested?
There must be a...
No catch. You will merely owe me a favor.
How will...
The guards know me.
What do you...
I knew you were the right man. Listen, you will get the pass from me, now.
Just like that?
Just so. But if I meet you in the city, you owe me a favor. Do we have a deal?
Sure. Give me that paper.
Here, be careful with that. It is very valuable. One more thing. Don't even think about breaking your word. As a merchant, I have a great deal of influence in the city. It wouldn't go well for you. Believe me.
Show me your...
Take your pick.
I've got to go.
Suit yourself.
Why are you hanging around on my land? Whose side are you on? The rebelling farmers or the king?
I'm for the peasants.
Ha! That damned warmonger Onar will drag us all into the grave. What do you think? How long will the paladins just stand by? After what Onar has done, the whole city is in an uproar.
What's going on here anyway?
Don't you know what's going on? Boy, where are you from? We're on the edge of a civil war. Up till now, all the farmers looked at the tribute to the city as fair taxation. But since the paladins have come to Khorinis, the city guards visit us more and more often. And little by little, they're taking everything. If it goes on like this, soon we won't have anything left for ourselves. Some farmers are starting to rebel. Onar was the first of them.
Tell me more about this Onar.
Onar is the biggest farmer here in the area. He is broken with the city. They say he's hired mercenaries to keep the city guard off his back. Can't blame him. In any case, no royal soldier dares to set foot on his farm anymore.
Who are those mercenaries that Onar hired?
I don't know much about the guys. Supposedly, a lot of them are former prisoners from the mining colony. Everybody knows what you can expect from them.
What about you? Whose side are you on? Peasants or king?
I'm too close to the city to really have a choice, but I'm glad about that. I wouldn't know how to decide. The king is bleeding us dry, and Onar sets his mercenaries on anyone who won't join him. That's why most of the other farmers are still undecided, but sooner or later they'll have to choose one side or the other.
I'm looking for work.
I can't use another farmhand, but I could offer some work to a day laborer. Well, what I mean is, you can lend a hand in the field, and there are certainly a few other things to do around here. I could pay you with gold, or give you a few decent things to wear. The things are worth a fair bit. I can't give them to you for nothing, but I can sell them to you cheap if you work for me. By the looks of you, I should say, take the clothes. Anyway, the small turnip field next to the barn needs to be harvested.
All right.
Then hurry it up a bit before I change my mind.
Have you got any?
First get the turnips in from the...
Here are your turnips.
Hey, you're not all that worthless after all. Take them to my wife in the house and tell her to cook them.
What about my pay?
I can give you 5 gold pieces, or sell you the clothes cheaper. Well, what's it to be?
Make me a better price for the togs.
Good. I'll give them to you for 10 gold pieces less.
Have you got...
I don't. But you can ask my wife or the boys in the fields. Maybe they need some help.
Hey! I've got a few turnips here for you.
Great. That should be enough to fatten those guys up. Since you're here anyway, I saw a traveling trader pass by here a few minutes ago. I think he stopped on his way to town. Go to him and see whether he's got a decent frying pan for me.
Can you give me...
Here, take this. You're a good lad.
Can you get...
You've had your portion for...
Give me the gold, and I'll go see the merchant for you.
Are you saying I can trust you? Just don't spend the money on booze, do you hear?
Show me.
Take your pick.
I've got to go.
Suit yourself.
Hey! Here's your frying pan.
Fine. Let's see then whether it's any good.
And how goes the work?
Same as always. Lot to do, not enough money, and with a bit of bad luck, the orcs will come tomorrow and burn down our farm. The king's paladins have occupied the whole city, but I can hardly believe they'll move their butts out here when the orcs attack us.
Can I help you? I'm looking for work.
Do you know anything about working in the fields?
What is there to know?
In that case, I think we're fine here. Thank you. If you want to work for Lobart as a day laborer, I can only warn you, he pays people like you really miserable.
He offered to sell me some clean clothes cheap if I helped out on the farm.
Well, I don't have anything for you to do, but you can bring me and the boys something to drink. Fetch me a bottle of wine, and I'll tell Lobart you were a real help to us.
I'm headed for town.
And?
Is there anything interesting you can tell me about the city?
Nope. But Maleth goes to the city from time to time. Maybe he knows something. I mean, something that would interest you.
Is there any interesting news?
I could have sworn I saw an orc over there on the edge of the woods 2 days ago. Since then, I've kept at least one eye open at night.
Hey, stranger. I saw how you came out of the mountains. You can be glad you didn't come by here 3 weeks ago. We would have taken you for an escaped convict. And we made short work of those. You look completely done in. What do you want here?
I was attacked by bandits in the mountains.
Those filthy rabble. They were probably the same bastards who took one of our sheep last night. You had terrific luck. Most people don't get away alive.
Those bandits won't trouble you anymore.
Why? Are they dead?
They picked a fight with the wrong guy.
Thank Immerse. Here, it isn't much, but I want you to have it. I'll tell the others about this.
I'm on my way to town.
The way you look, you'll have to bribe the guys to get in. And you have to know what they want to hear.
And that would be?
Well, for example, that you're from Lobart's farm and want to go to the smith in the city. But that won't do you any good. You don't look like a farmer.
I see. I need better equipment.
I can imagine. But I tell you right now, we don't have anything to give away. If you can pay for what you want, Lobart will sell you something. Otherwise, go to him and ask him if he has work for you.
Where can I...
Well, on the farm. And don't try messing with him. One less monster around.
Here's your wine.
I'd better not ask where you got it from, huh? Who cares? Well, thanks anyway. Lobart will only hear the best about you.
Hey, you! I need some sensible clothes.
I can give you clean farmer's work clothes. Can you pay for them then?
How much for the work clothes?
Well, we'll see. You've worked the field for me. You helped my wife. Vino says you were real help to him. And that's saying something. He doesn't usually hold with day laborers. Maleth said you chased the bandits off. The bastards have caused us a lot of trouble. Thanks to you, we're rid of them. 30 gold pieces. It's not gonna get any cheaper.
Give me the work clothes then.
There's a chest in my house where you'll find clean things. But don't even think about taking anything else without asking.
Hey! Can you...
You've had your...
Hey, you, come here.
What is it?
On your way to the city, and really busy, too. Listen, you look like a smart guy to me. I bet you'll go far in life. You're certainly nobody's fool, I could see that right away. Say, you'd probably like to earn a few gold coins, wouldn't you?
Are you hiding from someone?
Of course not. What nonsense. I just enjoy standing among the trees so the wind won't blow right into my face. What about you now? Do you want the job?
Cut the crap. Tell me what you want.
You see, that's exactly what I mean. Nobody gets anywhere with you just by using pretty words. I knew it. I'm dealing with a tough businessman here. You're a businessman and certainly interested in a small addition to your purse, aren't you?
Why not?
You'll have to forgive an ignorant old seaman. I'm a stranger in these parts and I don't really know all the rules. So I had to find out the hard way that traveling strangers aren't welcome in the harbor city. Now I'm standing here with no idea how I'm supposed to get into the city. I have some extremely important business to conduct and my client won't tolerate a delay, you see. You'll help me find a way to get past the city guard, won't you?
About the city guards.
Yes, got an idea?
I have a pass for the city.
Oh, I see. I'm supposed to act like I'm a citizen of the town or what? Take a look at me, boy. Nobody's going to believe that.
They should let you pass if you're wearing these farmer's clothes.
That's just what I need. Man, I knew I could count on you. Nobody will bother me disguised as a local yokel. Excellent. You did really well. Here's your promised reward.
What? 50 measly gold coins? You can't be serious.
Gold isn't everything, my friend. Take them for now. I have the feeling that we'll be seeing one another soon. And who knows, maybe I'll return the favor. Look after yourself.
Halt!
What is it?
You aren't getting in here, my boy.
Why not?
Looking the way you do, you're sure to cause nothing but trouble here, boy. And we got enough rabble in the city. We have no use for people without money.
I need to see the leader of the Paladins. I've got an important message for him.
Oh, and what in...
The hosts of evil are camped in the Valley of Corinus.
In the Valley of Mines? You come from there? Have you seen the army?
No, but I've been sent by someone who saw them.
Who sent you?
I don't have permission to tell you that.
Don't act like that with me, boy. I'm a member of the city guard. You can tell me everything. So, who sent you?
A magician.
You have news from the magicians? Then surely you must have a seal as proof.
No.
What? The magicians always give their messengers a seal.
Not this magician.
I don't believe you. If you're really a messenger, then spit out your news or clear off.
I can only give this message to the paladins.
It don't work like that, boy. Like hell will I let you see Lord Hagen.
No,
Then your journey ends here.
I've got a pass.
Really? And who you kill for that, you cutthroat?
Now, will you let me pass or not?
Well, go on in before I change my mind.
That's really not my problem. That's the first I've heard of it. I agree with you completely.
Halt, stranger. I am Lothar, Paladin of the King and humble servant of Immerse, your lord. Our commander, Lord Hagen, has entrusted me with the task of explaining to all newcomers the new laws which apply to all inhabitants of the city.
Since people have started simply vanishing all over this town, everyone needs to watch out that they don't suffer the same fate.
Nobody ever asked for my opinion. Don't tell me you didn't know that. That's the first I've heard of it.
The townspeople are simply disappearing?
Yes, it seems to be more every day. It's most annoying that the militia have still not been able to discover what's behind these strange occurrences. Small wonder that the town's inhabitants are very wary of strangers right now. So don't provoke them when you're in town. Understood?
That's all just gossip.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Do you really believe that?
Where did you pick that up?
Where can I spend the night here?
If you're looking for a place to sleep, go to the hotel directly across from the barracks. The paladins pay for the lodging of all travelers who come to the city. The traveling traders from the marketplace are also lodged there.
Don't say you didn't know that.
All right. Explain the rules of the city to me.
First, the Honorable Paladin Lord Hagen resides in the upper quarter, along with his troops. That is why access to the upper quarter is allowed only to honorable citizens.
Nobody will learn
Second,
anything from me.
the town hall in the upper quarter is now the command post of the paladins. Only the paladins themselves and members of the militia have access to it. And third, whoever is accused of a crime must exonerate himself with the commander of the militia. Any questions?
Where did you pick that up then?
I have an important message for the leader of the paladins.
The Honorable Lord Hagen is not receiving anyone. Lord Andre, the commander of the city guard, is responsible for all issues pertaining to the common folk.
It's a bad business.
Listen, the city is threatened by dragons.
That can't be true. Another lunatic. We have enough unrest in the city as it is. And without some dimwit scaring people with fairy tales about dragons. I immediately locked up the last person who was here telling dragon tales and sent him to the Valley of Mines with the prison transport. So mind your tongue. We can't use anyone here who spreads panic among the people.
I don't believe this is gonna change.
Somebody already reported the dragons here?
Yes. The fellow's name was Diego. I think so, in any case. I warned him just like you. But the lunatic just wouldn't stop getting on my nerves.
I agree with you completely.
I have come to get the Eye of Immerse.
The Sacred Eye of Immerse? How do you know about that? You're not a member of the Order.
A magician told me about it.
I don't know what his motives were when he entrusted one of the secrets of our Order to you. But he certainly didn't mean for you to get your fingers on it.
But
I don't want to hear any more about it. First you start with fairy tales about dragons, and then this. Incredible.
how do I become a citizen of the town?
Only those with regular jobs will be considered citizens of the town. But don't think that you'll be admitted to Lord Hagen just because you're a citizen of the town. As a citizen, you have access to the upper quarter, nothing more. Only as a member of the militia will you have access to the town hall.
It was just like you said. Where can I find work?
You'll have to apply as an apprentice to one of the masters here in the lower part of the city. As soon as a master accepts you, you are a citizen of the town. However, the other masters must agree to it. That's the custom here in Corinus. If you were thinking about looking for work in the Harbor District, forget it. The scum of the city live there. Don't even go there. You would regret it.
That was quite obvious.
How do I get to the upper quarter?
Say, are you listening to me at all? You're not a citizen of this town. You can save the entire area behind the inner gate.
You listen to the wrong people.
How do I...
By express command of Lord Hagen, only citizens of the town will be admitted into the militia.
I see.
If you want to know more, speak to Lord Andre in the barracks.
What do I have to do to...
What? You aren't even a member of the militia! You're not even a citizen! How can you even think of being allowed to wear the armor of only a few militia soldiers? Those who have performed extraordinary deeds have been granted that honor so far. If you want to be a paladin, you have a long road ahead of you, my boy.
Where can I find the commander of the city guard?
Lord Andre can be found in the barracks at the other end of the city.
I've got to go.
If I hear one more time that you are telling people here about dragons, you will be in big trouble. Do I make myself clear?
It can't go on like this forever.
You listen to the wrong people.
Halt! No one may enter the storeroom!
Why can't anyone enter the storeroom?
The Honorable Lord Hagen has confiscated the goods for the King's army.
Hey, you!
Hello, stranger. You must be hungry and thirsty. Perhaps I can interest you in my wares.
I'd have gone about it differently.
I was at...
There's little chance of that. Since the paladins made themselves at home in the upper end of town, hardly anyone gets in there anymore.
Can you help me get into the upper quarter?
Me? Nah. I don't have much say here myself. There are a few people in the lower city who have enough influence to get you past the guards. Mateo, my boss, is one of them. Maybe you should talk to him.
Where can I find Mateo?
You're standing right outside his shop. Just go on in. He's practically always there.
What about the other influential citizens?
The merchants and master craftsmen here on the main street are the most important figures in the city. You should try to get accepted by one of them as an apprentice like me. Since I started working for Mateo, the people in the city treat me with respect.
I don't believe this is gonna change.
I need some money, and I'm looking for...
I've heard that Bosper has trouble with his suppliers. His shop is right over there. They say he pays pretty well.
What do you have to offer?
At the moment, I don't have much choice. The damned landowner doesn't deliver anymore. And what we get from the small farms isn't enough to meet the demands of the city.
That was quite obvious.
Tell me more about the peasants' revolt.
It's quite simple. Onar, the fat landowner, won't pay any more taxes to the city. Imagine, we're at war with the orcs, and that fat slob wants everything for himself. Normally, the city guard would take firm measures in such cases. But now comes the best part. They say Onar has hired mercenaries to keep the troops from the city off his back. Mercenaries. The whole thing will end in a damn war, as if one war weren't enough.
What do you know about Onar's mercenaries?
I heard that most of them are former convicts from the mining colony, and their leader's supposed to have been a big shot with the king, a general or something, whom they put away as a traitor. These are terrible times.
Show me...
can't believe that.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes.
I don't know why he gets so worked up. I've heard a thing or two.
Hey, you're new in town, huh?
Yes, and what about you?
I've come from the mainland, and now I'm hanging around here. I'm almost out of gold, so all I can do now is join the militia, I guess. But I don't want to do that. I won't be slaughtered by those orcs on the king's behalf.
That's all just gossip.
What can you tell me about the militia?
One of the paladins has taken command. A certain Lord Andre. He's trying to mobilize half the city in case the orcs attack. But you need to be a citizen of the town in order to be admitted. As far as I know, if you're not a citizen, you can train anyway. But you won't be officially admitted.
You mustn't believe everything you
hear.
What else can you tell me about Lord Andre?
He has taken over the position of judge as well. If you cause any trouble in this town, you're gonna have to answer to him. I was once in a brawl with a citizen. He went crying to Lord Andre and ratted me out. That little matter cost me 50 gold pieces. I was lucky that it happened at night, or others would have witnessed it. The more people complain about you in this town, the higher your penalty will be.
Don't tell this to anyone.
I knew that would be a problem.
Who did you fight with?
With a fellow named Valentino.
Nobody will learn
He often hangs out in the tavern near the temple. I'm not usually a violent person, but that guy needed his face rearranged in the worst way.
You don't say.
Has anything exciting happened?
You could say that. They robbed Bosper the bowmaker. What a brazen thing to do, I tell you. The fellow just ambled into the shop in broad daylight and grabbed himself a bow. And Bosper right after him, hollering, "Stop right there, you rogue!" But the thief was too fast.
That's all just gossip.
Don't tell this to anyone.
You mustn't believe everything you hear.
What can I do for you?
Someone's gonna do the work.
What are you selling?
I can offer you everything you need to survive in the wild. Weapons, torches, provisions, even armor. I still have a special piece in stock. Double hardened armor of snapper leather, still unused. Interested?
Nothing surprises me anymore.
What do you know about paladins?
Since these bastards have come to the city, I've had nothing but trouble. The last time I was headed for the upper end of town, the guards flat out stopped me and asked me what was my business there.
And?
Of course they let me in. I had my shop in the city when most of those pompous asses were still chasing pigs with wooden swords. And yesterday, the bastards came and confiscated half of my goods.
The paladins seized your goods.
Everything I had stored in the backyard. They simply posted a guard in front of the entrance to the yard. If I'm lucky, they won't take everything. At least they might leave the armor here.
I agree with you completely.
Can you help me get into the upper quarter?
What? What are you going to do there?
I've got an important message.
Well, well. Have you tried getting past the guards?
I don't see why I should even try.
You're probably right. I don't know how important your message is, and it's none of my business. But even if you told them that a ship full of orcs just anchored in the harbor, they'd send you away, because they have their orders.
So can you help me get into the upper quarter?
It seems to be really important to you. The question is, how important is it to you?
What are you getting at?
I can help you. After all, I'm one of the most influential people here, but it'll cost you.
How exactly can you help me?
Quite simple. I'll use my influence to see to it that one of the master craftsmen here takes you on as an apprentice. As such, you'll practically be a citizen of the city and can enter the upper quarter. Besides which, you'll earn something while you're at it.
Where could I sign on as an apprentice then?
Basically, with any master here on the main street. That would be Harrod the Smith, Bosper the Bowmaker, Thorben the Carpenter, or Constantino the Alchemist. One of them is bound to take you on. But it's important that the other masters agree. That's always been the custom here in
How do I get the approval of the other masters?
You just have to convince them. Go and talk to them. But if more than one of them is against you, you don't stand a chance. So behave yourself.
Why don't you?
I would, but the other masters wouldn't agree. I just recently took on another apprentice.
Is there?
Perhaps. If I think of anything, I'll let you know.
Show me. What are you asking for your help?
100 gold pieces.
I don't believe this is going to change. I'm not telling you anything.
That's a whole damn lot.
Take it easy. It isn't your gold I have in mind.
But...
in principle, it's my gold. Gritta, the carpenter's niece, hasn't paid what she owes me in ages. But the little brat is constantly running around in new clothes. That means she has the money. I'd like to beat it out of her. But Master Thorben, the carpenter, is also a very influential man. Get me the money and I'll help you.
Where can I...
Like I said, she's the carpenter's niece. His house is down the street, the last house on the right before the smithy.
Nothing surprises me anymore.
Help me...
One thing at a time. First fulfill your part of the deal and bring me the gold.
This is going to change. He never would have thought of that himself. We can only wait and see. It's a bad business. But no, he insisted he knew better. Where did you pick that up, then?
Welcome to my shop, stranger. I am Basper. I craft bows and trade in furs. What brings you to Corinus?
There's nothing you can do about it.
I need to get into the upper quarter.
Where the paladins are? Forget it. You need to be a respected citizen here, or at least hold a decent job. As a stranger, you stand no chance of getting in.
That's the first I've heard of it. I'm not telling you anything new.
I'm looking for work.
I could use a new apprentice. The last one just gave up his job 2 days ago. Do you know anything about hunting, then?
Well...
I could teach you how to skin animals. I'll pay you well for every skin you bring me.
It was just like you said. But no, he insisted he knew better. He didn't get that from
Why did your apprentice give up his job?
All he said was that it had become too dangerous out there. If you're really interested, then you can ask him yourself. His name is Bartok. He's probably hanging out near Corrigan's Tavern. Go through the underpass from the smithy, then you're headed straight for it.
That was obvious all along. That's the first I've heard of it.
What if I want to sign on with one of the other masters?
Balderdash. Harrod and Matteo already have apprentices. Constantino the Alchemist is a loner, and he hasn't taken an apprentice in years. And as for Thorben, everyone knows he's dead broke. He probably couldn't even pay it. I, on the other hand, am in urgent need of an apprentice, and I pay well, too. But no matter where you want to sign on, you need the approval of all other masters from the lower part of town.
I'd have gone about it differently.
Will I get your...
All right, you shall have my approval, but on one condition. Work for me, at least for a short time. That way, you can find out for yourself whether you like my craft or not. And who knows? Maybe you'll end up liking it, and you'll stay with me. If you're good enough to sign on with me, you're also good enough for all others here.
Where did you pick that up, then? That's been known a long time.
What do you want me to do for you?
I will teach you how to skin an animal, and you will bring me, let's say, half a dozen wolf skins. Then I'll know that you have learned your trade. If it doesn't take you forever, and if the skins are in acceptable condition, I will take you on if you like. Or, you can start with one of the other masters, if that's what you really want.
He doesn't see that. I can't help him.
Teach me how to skin animals.
Right. Listen, it's quite easy, really. You take a sharp blade and cut open the animal's belly. Then make a few bring me the wolf skins and we shall see.
Nothing surprises me anymore.
I'm not touching that.
I want to start as your apprentice.
Before I take you on, I need to know, of course, whether you're any good at all.
If he doesn't see that, I can't help him.
He didn't get that from me.
That was obvious all along.
I've heard that someone stole from you.
Who told you that? Probably Bartok, huh? Didn't he have anything better to tell you? Oh, well, let me tell you, if I get hold of this bastard, he can say his prayers. I left the shop for only a moment. When I came back, I could only just see him leave, with my bow on his shoulder. I called the guards right away, but the lowlife ran towards the harbor, and they lost him there. I lit a bonfire under their asses then, and they searched the entire harbor district. But they didn't find a thing. Those bumbling lackeys. I bet my bow is still in town somewhere. I informed the guards on both city gates, and they haven't seen anyone leave with my bow. When I get my hands on that bastard...
You mustn't believe everything you hear.
About the wolf...
We had agreed...
I heard.
Show me...
It can't go on like this forever.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
That's the first I've heard of it.
That's all just gossip.
I hardly know what to believe anymore.
Hey, you, wait. You look familiar to me.
What do you want?
I've seen your face before somewhere, right? Here, we found this picture on some bandits we picked up a few days ago. It looks a lot like you. Apparently, those guys were looking for you.
No, you've got to be mistaken. Everything's fine with me.
Whatever you say, stranger. But if that happens to be your mug after all, and if you have some problems, keep them outside of this town. Things are difficult enough here as it is. And strangers who bring trouble into the city don't stay here long. I hope I make myself clear.
What do you know about the bandits?
They've all come from that blast. Some are holed up, but it's the bandits outside. They're the reason.
Where did the bandits who had my wanted...
Aha! So it is your mug after all. Why didn't you admit that right away, huh? What are you wanted for?
I don't know, honest.
Yeah, I know. Let me tell you something. If I thought you were in cahoots with those bandits, you'd already be cooling your heels in the slammer. Understood? Still, I'd better report this incident to Lord Andre. But to answer your question, we picked them up near the landowner's place. But they didn't look like Onar's people. I think they're part of a smaller group which is holed up in the mountains near Onar's farm. But if you intend to go there, let me warn you, those cutthroats make short work of everyone.
I'll remember that. How's the city?
At the moment, it's quiet. Only the bandits outside the city.
Where did you pick that up then? Why won't they listen to me?
It's typical, isn't it?
You have to feel sorry if it can't go on like this forever.
That's the first I've heard of it.
Hey, you! Where you going? No matter what your plans are, there'll be plenty of time later. You're right in front of the Pearl of Corinth. the Red Lantern. This is the most beautiful brothel in all of Myrtana, damn it. Sailors from the most remote corners of the world dock here just to spend a few nights in the Red Lantern. And now, it's you who has the chance, nay, the honor of spending a night with Nadja, the most passionate flower of the gods. Come on in, and you're going to experience what others cannot even dream of. What are you standing around for out this hot cr—
It can't go on like this forever.
Don't say you didn't know that. That's not what I heard.
Some problems solve themselves.
Are you the one who runs this place?
I am Bromo, this is my house, and these are my girls. I like my girls. And if you like my girls too, then you'll pay for it, 50 gold pieces. And don't get the idea of making trouble here.
He can't keep anything to himself.
There've been all kinds of rumors. Nobody wants to know.
It was just like you said.
Are all your girls accounted for?
Of course they are. Or do you think I want to go to jail over something like that?
I wasn't asking about your payroll. I mean, are they all present, or have any gone missing?
Oh yeah. Actually, one of my girls has up and left. Her name's Lucia. I reported it to the militia too, but they claim they haven't found a trace of her yet.
It's better to watch out. Let's wait and see what happens.
How long has Lucia been missing?
Several days. I don't know exactly how long. I assume she ran off with one of her suitors, eh? That bitch made off with part of my savings, a really valuable golden dish, huh? If I get hold of her, I'll give her what for. So how is that any business of yours, huh? Do you want to have fun or not?
He can't keep anything to himself.
That's exactly what I said.
It was his decision, wasn't it?
I've got my own opinion about that.
If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes.
Some problems solve themselves. Do you really think? Let's wait and see what happens. Ever asked?
We can only wait and see. I've got my own opinion about that.
Believe that? You don't have to ask me. Anything's possible.
It's the first I've heard it doesn't make it.
There've been all kinds of. Nobody ever asks me.
I'm in enough trouble as it can't go on like this forever.
Hey, I don't know you. What do you want here? Are you headed for the tavern?
It was just like you said.
That's exactly what I said. It can't go on like this forever. Nothing's ever going to change that.
I don't believe this is going to change.
That doesn't amaze me. That'll only cause more trouble. Do you really think? As if I didn't have enough problems.
Yes, do you mind?
You've got no business here, Runt.
Why haven't I heard about this before? Some problems solve themselves.
I can't believe that. I'm not touching that.
You don't have to ask me that. He should have known that. It's exactly what I said.
Are you trying to make trouble for me?
Sure, I'm a master at making trouble. So defend yourself, Runt.
That'll only cause more trouble.
So why won't they listen?
That's all just gossip.
Give it your
Here's the
all.
ticket. What are you waiting for?
Show
That's the
him.
ticket.
That hit the spot.
Why haven't I heard about this before? You really think?
I'm in enough trouble as it is.
I don't want to use it.
Like you said.
You should have known.
This is going to change.
We'll see about that.
Don't say you didn't know that.
All right, you win. What do you want?
I don't know what to believe anymore.
You know your way about the harbor, don't you?
Sure thing. Why?
Anything bothers as much.
Why haven't I heard
That would
about
be
this
a problem.
I would have
Just like you said.
What kind of rumors are floating about?
Around here, we don't like people who ask too many questions, especially not if they're strangers.
Let's wait and see what happens.
Why don't I see any militia?
They don't dare come in here. We take care of things ourselves.
How'd you pick that up, Reb?
How's the shipping traffic?
The only ship that's come here recently is the Paladin ship. It's over there, behind the rocky ridge to the southwest.
Those are all really didn't deserve that. But he knew that all along. I've heard a thing or two. Totally obvious. Some problem solving, so I don't know who to believe these days. It's better to watch out. Some problem solving, so. You know, to believe everything you hear.
Now that's typical, isn't
Same
it?
old thing, all over again.
I'm in enough trouble. You listen to the wrong people.
That's not what my
Nobody
husband
wants
thinks.
to know.
It was just like you said.
Things I could tell you.
What's your business here?
See? That wasn't so hard.
Everybody knows by now.
Ah, customer, what can I do for you?
That's not what my husband thinks.
I'm looking for a room.
Ah, you're in the right place then.
One of the paladins told me that I could spend the night here for free.
Yes, yes. Just go up the stairs. We still have 1 or 2 beds free.
That's terrible.
Do you really think? I never knew that.
Someone's gonna do it.
You hardly know who to believe these days.
Don't tell this to anyone.
It's a bad business. It's not what I heard.
Honestly, I witnessed it myself.
Do you really think? He never would have thought of that himself.
Someone's gonna do the work. He'd better shut up.
Why do the paladins pay for everything?
I don't know what that's all about either. For one thing, I think they want to get all the poor suckers off the streets so they don't make any mischief. And for another, they want to get on the good side of the traveling traders. Now that the farmers are rebelling, we have to rely on the traders for provisions. Besides, I think they want to improve the morale in the city a bit. Lord Andre has even arranged for free beer to be given out at the Gala Square.
Who's staying here at the moment?
Almost all of them are traveling traders from the market.
Aha!
Don't even think about messing.
I have... Tell me...
Corinus is one of the... But since the... Which means that nobody really...
Where can I buy...
The market is... There are also...
Hear ye, inhabitants of Corinus. By the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the following decree is hereby enacted. Martial law is
How
immediately declared in
strange.
all cities and
It
regions
seems
of the
to me
realm.
that I have
All
met you
civilian
before,
judges are to
traveler.
hand over their duties to the
Well,
royal paladins,
great are the
effective
mysteries of time
the
and
Honorable Lord
space.
Andre is commanded
Oh,
to punish
please forgive
every
my
crime
rudeness,
or
son of
act of
patience.
resistance against the
I am
king's
welcome,
guards
friend.
most severely. Every inhabitant
Who are
of
you?
Corinus
My
who
name
is guilty of a
is
crime
Abu
is to
Jin
report
ibn
immediately to Lord
Jabir
Andre.
ibn Omar Khalid bin Haji al-Sharidi. I am a seer and a prophet, an astrologer and a purveyor of tobacco.
What kind of...
My pipes are filled with spicy, refreshing apple tobacco. Help yourself whenever you want, son of adventure.
Do you have other tobacco as well?
I offer only the very best tobacco. This apple plant is a... But, of course, I'm always open to trying a different sort of tobacco.
How's that done?
This is done at an alchemist's bench, provided you know the essentials of alchemy.
Where can I get apple tobacco?
I shall give you 2 portions. It is up to you, in your wisdom, to do with them whatever you want. If you crave more, then direct your steps toward Zuris, the master of potions. He produces this tobacco, and he sells it too.
Can you make me a prophecy?
My services are yours for a modest fee. Oh, father of generosity.
How much do you want?
For a paltry 25 coins. I shall risk a glance through time for you. But remember, the future is always uncertain. All I can do is glimpse some fragments of time.
Tell me about the future.
All right, seeker of knowledge. I shall now enter a state of trance. Are you ready? Orcs. They are guarding an entry, an old tunnel, a valley of mines, men in shining armor. A magician. Your friend is with them. He is waiting for you. Fire! An attack! A mighty creature. The flames, many shall die. What is that? A city. Ruins. Quarholdron in Jarkandar. He is summoned. Quarholdron in Jarkandar. I'm sorry. Division is over. There's nothing more I can see.
Can you make me an...
Oh, son of the mysterious future. It is not within my power to lift the veil of time. Only when time sends me another omen shall I be able to see for you again.
When will that be?
When the future has become present, and you have continued your journey.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Corinus.
Wait a minute.
By the explicit order of the Honorable
You're
Lord
not from
Hagen,
around here, are
the
you?
following
Never
decree
mind.
is
Neither am
hereby
I.
enacted.
Where did you hang around before?
From this moment
In the
onward,
woods, hunting
Lord
scavengers
Andre
and
will take the
wolves,
supreme
together with some
command of our
hunters.
militia.
But I gave it
All
up.
the
These are
citizens of this
dangerous
city who
times.
have martial
There's a lot of
skills at their
riffraff running
disposal
around
are
out there.
herewith urged to join the royal militia.
Where can I find the other hunters?
We had our camp outside near the tavern halfway to Onar's farm. But I don't know whether there's anyone left in the camp now. There used to be 2 of us here in town, until a few days ago. My friend Trokar is an excellent hunter.
Vosper said you used to work for him.
Yes, I did, but he was only interested in his blasted hides. I told him how dangerous it's gotten out there. He didn't really listen to me. Well, anyway, he paid well. I can't complain about that.
Can you tell me anything else about him?
Vosper had one of his bows stolen recently, in broad daylight. Some guy just waltzed into his store, took a bow, and left. The thieves are getting more and more brazen.
Can you teach me something about hunting?
I can teach you how to sneak properly and how to handle a bow.
I want...
Okay then, let's see if I... All right, your aim has become more accurate already.
So, where is your friend Trokar now?
Well, it's a curious story. Only a few days ago, we were both standing at the bar in Corrigan's Tavern, discussing the hunt. Don't ask me what happened next. I had a few by then. I vaguely remember Trokar saying that he was going out to get a few swamp weed reefers. He never came back.
Where does one get swamp weed reefers?
Somewhere down at the harbor, as far as I know.
Didn't you go looking for him?
No, but I reported it to the militia. But they haven't been able to find him yet. I hope he didn't get attacked by a wolf, or worse. I'm afraid that I'll stumble over his body someday when I'm out hunting. I don't think I could bear that.
Why don't we go hunting together?
With two, it isn't so dangerous, that's true. Do you know anything about hunting then? I mean, do you know how to skin an animal?
Yes.
All right, but I want to see 50 gold pieces. For that, you can keep the skins and sell them to Busper. That's a fair deal, isn't it?
Later.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Corinus. By the explicit
come
order
closer.
of the Honorable Lord Hagen,
Take a break and
the
have a sip
following
of cool
decree is
beer.
hereby enacted.
Lord Andre is
From
springing
this
for a few
moment
barrels
onward,
of free beer.
Lord Andre will take the supreme command of
come
our
closer.
militia.
The paladin.
All the citizens of this city who have
The
martial
paladin.
skills at their disposal are herewith urged to join the royal militia.
Hey, you! Hey, what's...
Yeah, as long as the Paladins don't have any new assignments for me, I can have myself a couple.
You're working for the Paladin?
Yeah, I report to them on this.
How are things?
No reason to worry. We in the city guard and the Paladins have every... Go home and let...
Would you like another beer? You were about to say something about the orcs.
Oh, yeah, right. The orcs are absolutely no threat to the city. They're stuck in the Valley of Mines, and the pass is held by the Paladins. Not even a meat bug could get through there.
Would you like another beer?
Well, I won't say no to a decent pie.
They've even spotted an orc outside of town.
Yeah, right. The dangerous orc outside the city. A real monster of an orc. Well, he's bound to attack the city soon. Listen, we'll kick that fat orc in his fat ass if he comes too close to the city. Got it?
I see. Would you like
a tasty bitter... You know, you don't often meet someone who'll treat you to a beer. You're all right.
Would you like
a tasty beer? You know, you don't have...
Hear ye, inhabitants of Corinus.
What are you doing here?
By the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen,
I run
the
errands
following
for the
decree is
magicians
hereby
and also
enacted.
the paladins.
The security measures for
I
the
have
protection
provided
of the
the
upper
3
quarter will
innkeepers
be
in the
further
city with
strengthened.
wine from the
The
monastery.
guards on the gates are ordered to interpret the law in the strictest sense in order to prevent unauthorized entry.
What can...
We novices seek enlightenment in prayer to Immerse and learn the principles of faith from the magician. We serve them as we serve Immerse and prepare ourselves.
Who are the
One of them is the good man here behind the bar. Then there is Kerrigan, who has his tavern on the Temple Square, and Cardiff, the owner of the tavern in the Harbor District.
Don't bother.
and the human slew the beast, and it entered into Beliar's realm.
Hey, you!
Adanos be with you.
Who are you?
I am Vatras, a servant of Adanos, the guardian of the divine and earthly. What can I do for you?
Tell me about the Ring of Water.
And why would I do that?
Cavalorn sent me to you.
And what did he tell you?
He said you're in dire need of more good people.
Aha. So, you want to join us, son?
Here, I've got a letter for you.
For me? Indeed. This is an important message you're bringing me. I wonder how you got hold of this letter.
I got it from Cavalorn, the hunter.
Cavalorn? Where is he?
He told me to tell you he couldn't make it and is headed for the meeting point. Whatever he meant by that.
I see that you have gained Cavalorn's trust. That speaks in your favor.
Tell me.
And what?
I want to join the Ring of Water.
You do? Well, that means you have already fulfilled the first requirement.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, there must be someone among us who trusts you. Otherwise, you wouldn't even know about it. But I know nothing about you.
What do you want to know?
Well, you could tell me where you come from and why you have come to the city.
I carry an important message for the leader of the Paladins.
What is this message? Terrible things, hmm? How do you know this?
No, I heard rumors.
Aha! And
I'm a former convict from the penal colony of Corinus.
Good. Let us summarize. You are a former prisoner who heard rumors that terrible things are going to happen. And you have come to report this to the Paladins. I think there's something you're not telling me. If you're worried I might pass on what you tell me, then let me reassure you. I have sworn to keep all secrets I am entrusted with to myself.
And what about all the people here?
They only understand half of what I preach to them. So don't fret. Let's start over at the beginning. What's that meant?
A large army is gathering as we talk, led by dragons and determined to conquer the country.
Dragons? You speak of beings which until now have only been mentioned in legends. How do you know this?
Zardos, the magician, told me. He sent me to warn the Paladins.
The necromancer? So he lives, and he sent you. Who are you really?
I'm a former convict from the penal colony of Corinus.
Good. Let us summarize. You are a former prisoner. That dragons have come to conquer the country. And you have come to report this to the Paladins. That all sounds rather fantastic, but I cannot perceive that you are lying to me. Therefore, I must assume that your motives are honorable. I want to give you a chance to join the Ring of Water.
What must I do in order to join the ring?
Know that you take on great responsibility by joining the ring. I do not let just anyone join who comes to us and asks. If you want to join the ring, you will have to prove that you act like one of us.
And that means...
Before we let a young man join our ranks, he must have done a great deed for the ring. Only then can I begin to consider letting you help preserve the balance of forces on this island.
I have vanquished the Sleeper. Isn't that a great enough deed?
My ears hear many a tale these days, including the story about the banning of the beast called the Sleeper. I have not heard that this was achieved by a single man, although your eyes tell me that you are convinced you did this. That confuses me slightly, but I cannot be sure that my senses might not deceive me sometimes.
I have freed many people. The barrier is gone.
Even if you can really claim responsibility for that, the great event in the Valley of Mines has not only set free the water mages and other upright citizens. All the criminals of the entire country are roaming Khorinis these days, harassing the population. The bandits have already taken over large...
So what would be an appropriate deed that might convince you?
Khorinis is facing a great enigma these days. The number of people missing from the town seems to increase almost daily. If you can explain to me what happened to them, you shall have your place within the Ring of Water. However...
Yes?
You should take your message to the Paladins first. I consider it a matter of utmost importance. Talk to Lord Hagen.
But Lord Hagen is not going to receive me.
Yes, he will, no doubt about it, provided you become a member of a powerful community first. The Ring has far-reaching connections. We shall assist you in conveying your message as soon as possible. You should talk about this to Laris, whom I trust. He will help you.
What community should I join?
There are only 3 communities that have enough influence. These are the City Militia, the Monastery of the Fire Magicians, and the troop of mercenaries on the landowner's farm. The choice is yours, son. Laris can certainly assist you with this difficult decision. Talk to him about it.
I shall do that. I've got this stone tablet. Can you tell me more about it?
Those are artifacts from the old culture, which we have been investigating for some time. There are several kinds of them. Some contain information about the history of the ancient people, and that is the kind I am interested in. Bring me all of those that you can find. I shall give you an appropriate reward.
I've got another stone
Great! Here, take a few potions as a reward.
About the...
Yes?
Where should I start looking for them?
Most of those people disappeared down...
Let me tell you what...
What have you found?
Nothing... Can you teach?
Only the chosen of it, but common mortals can also. I can show you how you can channel and expand.
I want to...
Since you... But I shall...
Who are...
I cannot... But you will... We suspect that those ruins might contain a passage to a part of the island.
Tell me more about that uncharted area.
If you're interested in joining the expedition, I could send you to Satyrus with a letter. You can only participate, of course, as long as you're one of us.
Of course. What exactly is it that you do?
We stand between the Order of Immerse if one of the two sides. Therefore, we guard the balance.
And what does that mean in concrete terms?
The fall of the barrier has evoked numerous... The bandits are probably the most... Not only has it become all but impossible, there's someone in town, too, who supports the We have found out that the bandits receive regular deliveries from a weapons merchant in Khorinis. We try to find such people and keep them from endangering the city. If you can find out anything about this, let me know.
About the...
Yeah.
About... How much...
Ask he has... You can...
Is there anything that could help me with my search?
You're very persistent, young man. But I actually can think of something that could make your tasks easier for you. I shall give you this ore amulet. You'll certainly be able to use it. It is an amulet of the searching will-o'-the-wisps. There are only very few of them. The will-o'-the-wisp that inhabits this amulet has very special properties. It can help you find things that normally elude the naked eye. You summon it by simply wearing the amulet. If it loses its power, or you cannot find it, simply put on the amulet again and it will reappear. The will-o'-the-wisp can detect weapons. It could be very helpful to treat it well, and it will never fail you.
A will-o'-the-wisp in an amulet?
Will-o'-the-wisps are admirable creatures. They consist of pure magical energy. They are bound to the magical ore in this. I'm not surprised that you've never heard of them. They only appear to the person who bears the ore to which they belong. Will-o'-the-wisps living in the wild have been forcefully removed from their sources. There is no way to help those.
Can the will-o'-the-wisp do more than that?
More than look for close combat weapons? Not unless you teach it. I think Riordian knows how to teach these beings. He is one of us, currently traveling with Satyrus. Perhaps he can tell you more.
Thank you. I shall take good care of it. Tell me what Tell me.
Beliar is he. Is only a few.
Tell me.
Adanos, he commands his.
Tell me about
Very well. Innos is. He commands light and fire. His priests are the.
I want
a donation. How much can.
I haven't.
That is not a. Wait. If you see Laris, give him this ornament and tell him that it needs to be returned. He'll know what to do with it.
Hey. Ah, fresh face. You're not from Corinus, are you? This is not a good time for travelers. Bandits everywhere. No work, and now the farmers have risen up. What winds have blown?
He never would have thought of that himself.
I'm looking. Do you know anything about?
The only thing I can make out of wood is a fire.
And what about luck?
Well,
I'm sorry, but I can't use you if you know nothing about my trade. And I have no money to pay for an apprentice.
What if I want to start an apprenticeship with one of the other masters here?
All right, I shall give you my approval. But you had better get yourself the blessing of the gods first. Say, are you a man of faith?
Yes, a most humble servant, Master Thorben.
Then go to Vatras, the priest of Adanos, and have him give you his blessing. He will tell you where you can find a priest of Innos. You should get his blessing, too. Once you have received the blessing of the gods, I shall vote for you.
Have you had an apprentice before?
Yes, and not too long ago.
And what happened?
His name is Elvrich. He's my nephew. I was quite pleased with him, actually, but one day he simply didn't show up for work.
Where is Elvrich now?
How would I know? He kept hanging around that filthy brothel by the harbor. I wouldn't be surprised if he's still warming the bed of some whore down there.
How long is it?
I guess it must be about...
Have you reported?
Of course I have. They were supposed to catch him. He can do whatever he wants. Sooner or later he'll...
Is that so? So,
what good is a fine chest without a... I make my own locks. That way, a poorly made lock is easy to...
Can you teach...
I don't know whether you can be... For all I know, I'm not going to teach you...
What?
Not much. Since then, they've withdrawn. Nobody here really knows it. Many are afraid of... I suppose, however, that they are here to...
Do you know...
Rumor has it that he was probably tired of having to throw his harvest along with his livestock. All we notice of this in town is that the food prices... Onar's farm lies far to the east of here, and if you want to know more, ask the merchants in the marketplace. They get around the...
I've come about Gritta.
My niece? What's your business with her? This isn't about money, is it?
She owes 100 gold pieces to the merchant Matteo.
Tell me this isn't true. Ever since that little piece of work moved in with me, I've had nothing but trouble. She's in debt with practically every single merchant in town. I had to borrow 200 gold pieces from Lamar, the moneylender, just to settle her debts. And now this. Gritta should be in the house. Go ahead, ask her. But I tell you this, she doesn't have a single gold piece.
We shall see.
What do you want, stranger? If you've come to beg, I must disappoint you. I am a poor widow. My name is Gritta. Ever since my husband died, I have been running the household for my uncle Thorabin.
Matteo sent me. You still owe him some gold.
He wants his money? What for? The goods he delivered were flawed, bad fabric, and bad seams. And did you look at the colors? Those are not the colors I ordered. That's fraud, that is. Let me tell you, back when my husband was alive, he wouldn't have dared to do that. Oh, my poor husband.
Cut it out. Where's the gold?
But I don't have the gold. I'm only a poor widow.
Then we'll simply sell a few of your togs. I'm sure you've still got a bunch of stuff in your closet.
How dare you, uncouth lout! All right, here, take the gold.
See, that wasn't so hard.
And now will you please leave my house?
Hey! Your niece had 100 gold pieces.
What? The brazen little serpent. That was my gold. She took it from my chest. Give it back to me. I have to pay off Lamar first. Matteo can get his money later.
No, Matteo will get his money back from me.
You're getting me into a real mess that way. Lamar is not terribly generous when it comes to debts. But at least you're planning to pay my niece's debts. I guess I ought to thank you for that.
Here's your 100 gold pieces.
And? Did she cause any problems?
None to speak of.
Good. You've held up your part of the deal.
Help me sign on as an apprentice with one of the masters.
Don't worry. I'll keep my part of the bargain. The other masters will only hear the best about you from me.
but so great was the wrath of Beliar.
Hey, you! I'm asking your blessing.
Why should I give you my blessing, stranger?
I want to start an apprenticeship with one of the masters in the lower part of town.
Go with the blessing of Adanos, my son.
That's what everyone always said. Who says things like that?
I don't believe that. And it's gonna get even worse.
What can I do for you? Are you seeking... Do you want to direct a prayer to our Lord Innos? Or donate some gold for his church?
My husband thinks. But that's terrible.
I've come to get your blessing.
That's good. That's good. Then you will probably want to donate gold to the Holy Church of Innos, won't you?
Actually, I wanted your blessing so I can sign on as an apprentice in the lower part of town.
But my son,
Really? How interesting.
without a modest donation to the church, it is impossible for me to bless you. How else can I be certain of your good intentions toward the Holy Church of Innos?
Honestly, I witnessed it myself.
And it's gonna get even worse.
So, how much does a donation usually run to here?
He'd better
Well, that depends on what percentage you want to give, son. Let me see how much you brought.
That's not what my husband
You have more than 100 gold pieces. The Lord says give if you have. The church accepts your generous donation. I
what I
bless
heard.
you in the name of Innos, for he is light and righteousness.
Don't tell this to anyone.
These are bad times.
You don't say.
He'd better shut up.
Wouldn't be so sure. That will never change.
But Innos beheld what Beliar had done, and he also bestrode the land and chose the
What else do you want? You've got my gold. Go away.
gave unto him a portion of his divine power, so that
How about your approval, Master?
Has Vatras given you his blessing?
Yes.
And did you also get the blessing of a priest of Innos?
Yes, I did.
Then you shall have my blessing as well. No matter what path you decide to take pride in doing a good job, my boy.
Can you teach me how to pick locks?
You have paid Gritta's debt with Mateo. You seem to be a decent fellow. I shall teach you what you want to know. However, I cannot do it for free. I still have a mountain of debts, and I need the money.
How much do you charge?
200 gold pieces.
Maybe later.
New in the city, huh? I'm Brian. I'm Master Harrod's apprentice.
What's it like to be the smith's apprentice?
Why do you ask? You want to be my successor?
Maybe.
Why not? I'm almost done with my, but not because of Harrod. He is a good master.
Why do you want to?
Because the people here are getting on my nerves. Above all, I still remember what a fuss it was getting accepted as an apprentice with Harrod. Really, every one of them jokers had something to say about it. I want to decide for myself who I can or can't take as an apprentice.
Who are the other?
Well, there's Thorben the carpenter, Bosper the bowmaker, Constantino the alchemist, and Matteo. He sells armor, But first of all, he's a merchant. All the masters have their houses here on the street, and Constantino's shop is in the underpass to the temple.
Tell me more about Master Harad.
He's not in a very good mood right now. A few days ago, the paladins came and ordered him to forge some swords for them. They've even forbidden him to sell swords to anyone else. Now he slaves day and night to finish the job as quickly as possible.
Can I buy?
Not really. The weapons that are made in this smithy, but if it has...
Would have thought of that himself.
What?
I can sell you...
That's the first I've heard of it.
Wait a minute. Do you sell?
Forget it. Everything I make, I have a commission for 100 swords from Lord Hagen. He wants to...
I'm looking for work.
I could use a new apprentice. Brian will have finished his apprenticeship soon, and then he'll leave the city. Are you good for anything?
If you mean, do I know blacksmith's work?
No, that's not what I meant. Sooner or later, the orcs are going to lay siege to the city, and then the only men who will count will be those who are in a position to defend our city. And I won't take on anyone as an apprentice who will disgrace me by fleeing the city with the women and the good-for-nothings, instead of holding the fort here with the men.
That's the first I've heard of it.
I'm not a good-for-nothing.
Those are big words. Can you back them up with big deeds?
What are you getting at?
Bring me an orc's weapon. Orcs have been seen near the city. With a bit of luck, you won't have to search for long. If you manage to bring one down, I'll take you on as an apprentice, provided the other masters agree.
What do you want? I'm not giving anything away.
I'm looking to...
Really? And with whom are you gonna sign up?
I want to sign up with one of the other masters.
You have come to ask my approval? As far as I'm concerned, you can sign up with whoever you like.
But the human and the beast waged war upon the land of Adamus. The wrath of the gods was with them.
Can I sell you some herbs?
If you have any to offer.
The human slew the beast, and it entered into Beliar's realm.
I'm in need.
Why? Are you injured?
Not.
Get lost then.
Show me.
And Enos, in his wisdom, did so.
I want to.
With me? No! I have already had the dubious pleasure once of grappling with an apprentice. That's quite enough for me. I invested several years in his education, and in the end, the poor fool up and poisoned himself. Go sign up with one of the other masters.
And so he bade Enos leave a part of his power in his realm, so that he might restore it to the human, if the beast should return.
What will I have to do to become your apprentice?
I couldn't bear yet another dilettante on my conscience. There is a multitude of herbs out there. Used in different variations, they develop the most diverse effects. You probably don't even know half of them. Here. This is a list of the most important plants. Bring me a plant of each kind, and I might reconsider taking you in as an apprentice.
About the plants.
If you cannot handle that by yourself, you won't be any good as an alchemist either.
I see.
And so he set himself between his brothers in order to reconcile their dispute. And
Why do you want?
I wanted to have a look around here.
And where exactly are you?
What interesting things are there to see here?
There's a cat house here and a tavern. The landlord's name is Cardiff. If it's information you want, he'll be the right person to talk to. Do you, need money, by the way?
Are you giving it away?
No, but right across the street here is the house of Lamar, the moneylender. I'm sure he'll give you a few gold pieces. Just go ahead.
Do you work? Actually, I was on my way to the upper quarter.
Yeah, right. And I was about to board a ship and have it take me to the king for an audience. People like you and me haven't been allowed in the upper quarter.
Are you a citizen?
If you mean do I live here, yeah. But still they won't let me into the upper quarter. Only the Toths can get in there, or the merchants and craftsmen from the lower end of town. The people from the harbor district don't carry much weight in Corinth. There isn't even a regular...
Has any...
Not long ago, they were searching for stolen property. There've been plenty of thefts here lately, especially in the better quarters. They're obviously trying to blame the poor suckers at the harbor for everything.
Has any...
Now they...
How's it going?
How much do you want?
What do you mean?
I'm the moneylender and you came to me.
You don't say.
Well, lend me...
Sure, how much would you...
That's not what it has.
200 gold coins.
That's a lot of money. I'll see you here again tomorrow, and the money too. Understand?
Someone's got to do the work.
It was his decision, wasn't it?
Everybody knows by now.
You always...
Don't worry. You've got such a distinctive mug that it would... So don't even think about playing around with me.
He can't keep anything to himself. Now that's typical, isn't it?
Same old thing all over.
You don't say.
Has anything...
Not long ago, they were searching for stolen property. They're...
Now that's typical, isn't it?
You look a little worse for wear. Haven't slept in a long time, have you?
Too long, I should say.
Come on, step closer. With me, you'll find what you're looking for.
That was no big deal.
He better shut up.
Show...
Someone's got to do the work.
You said that you...
But of course, what is it you want to know?
Someone's got to do the work.
Are there any other traders here at the harbor?
If you keep to the left at the quay, you'll find Helvor, my husband. He sells fish. On the other side, there's Brahim, the cartographer.
Do you know anyone from the upper quarter?
If I knew anyone up there, I wouldn't be standing here.
Really, how interesting.
What interesting things are there to see around the harbor?
Well, if you're looking for some action, you can go down to Cardiff's Inn at the quay. There's always something brewing there. You can hardly miss it. The guy standing by the entrance there will certainly draw your attention to it. Besides that, there's the large ship of the Paladins, the King's stately war galley. That one's really worth seeing. You'll find it if you keep left at the quay and then pass under...
Has anything...
You could say so. It wasn't that long ago. A thief ran by here. He must have stolen a bow in the lower part of the city. Of course, the militia came here way too late, like always. He got away from them, just jumped into the harbor, and he was gone.
Can't take care of everything for everybody.
Like this forever. That's nothing new. I wouldn't that all along.
If he doesn't see that, I can't help him.
I don't know. Why haven't I heard about the change? I don't want to hear that anymore. He didn't get that from me.
Nothing amazes me anymore.
I must be crazy. What are you doing here?
Where did you pick that up then?
If he doesn't see that,
Hey, Larish, you old scoundrel, how did you get here?
I was able to escape to the Valley of Mines just in time, together with Lee and some of the other boys. You remember Lee, don't you?
Of course I remember Lee.
I got out of the colony with him then, just after the barrier was destroyed. He and his boys are now on the farm of Onar, the landowner. He made a deal with the farmer. He and his boys defend the farm, and Onar feeds them in return.
Don't say you didn't know that. Is it really true? I already thought as much. I could have told you that. Not in enough trouble as it is. That's not what I heard.
I must talk to the Paladins by any means.
What do you want from them?
They've got a powerful amulet, the Eye of Innos. I must have it.
And you think they'll give it to you? You'll never get into the upper end of town.
I'll find a way somehow.
Sure. If you want to ingratiate yourself with the citizens or play errand boy for the militia.
Don't say you didn't know that. I agree with you completely.
Do you know why the Paladins are here?
Nobody knows for sure. Lots of people think it's because of the orcs, but I think there's another reason. It probably has something to do with the old penal colony.
I knew that would be a problem. You have to feel sorry for him. Let's wait and see what happens.
Can you teach me something?
Sure. I can help you become stronger and...
But you have to feel sorry for him. I wouldn't have done that.
Tell me more about Lee and his mercenaries.
What do you want to know?
Nobody ever asks for my opinion.
How do I find the landowner's farm?
It's quite simple. You leave the seaport by the east gate and then follow the path towards the east. I can take you there if you want.
Tell me more about the
Well, if you're as tough as you were, most of them are ruffians, and if you can't stand up to them, you won't get far. If you're squeamish, you don't have a chance of joining them.
Why aren't you with Lee and his mercenaries?
But I am, just not on the farm. You could say I'm our outpost in the city. We don't want the ship to sail without us.
Did you pick that up then?
What ship were you talking?
It's on the open sea harbor, behind the cliffs. Lee and a few of his people really want to get away from here. But that could take a while.
Why?
You'd better ask Lee about that. If you meet him, he's got plans.
We don't have to ask you that. That was obvious all along. I don't believe this is going to change. Nothing's ever going to change that. Why haven't I heard it? Deserve that.
Vatras sent me. He told me to come to you when I needed help.
So you've already been to see Vatras? You must have made a lasting impression on him. Otherwise, he certainly wouldn't have volunteered my name. Especially not since the matter with those missing people still hasn't been resolved. Tell me what you need.
Vatras gave me this ornament to bring to you. He said it is to be taken back.
Of course. It's up to me, as usual. I might have known. I'll have to walk halfway across the island to take it back to the water mages.
I've got my own opinion about that. That's all just gossip. There's enough trouble.
I can take the ornament there for you.
I think I'd better take it there myself. But you could come with me. Only, I can't leave here at the moment. I need to keep an eye on the harbor.
I've got my own opinion about that. That's exactly what I said. Where did you pick that up then?
What exactly do you do here at the harbor?
I can't talk about that. Vatras would have my head.
Go on like this forever. I agree with you completely. So you have to listen to me. It's totally obvious. Let's wait.
I need...
And what exactly...
He didn't get that from me. Who said that?
What?
Mateo sells armor, but he'll probably charge you an arm and a leg for it. There is a way you could get it cheaper, though, if you don't mind pulling a fast one on the militia.
What do you mean?
There's a storage area next to Mateo's house, but all the merchandise has been confiscated by the militia. Go to Zurus at the marketplace and get yourself a sleeping spell. Then you send the guards off to Dreamland. I'm sure you'll find some decent armor among Mateo's stock.
Do you really mention that? Let's wait and see what happens. Where did you pick that up then?
There's nothing I can do about that, I'm afraid. Have you tried the marketplace? Don't we all? Sorry, but I have none to give you. But Lamar, the moneylender, still owes me. Go to him.
About... Tell me what you know.
The first was William, one of the fishermen here in Corinus. One day, he simply didn't return. At first, we thought that one of those sea monsters out there had eaten him in his boat for breakfast. But not too long afterwards, other people started disappearing from the town and the surroundings. Pretty random events, though. Everyone's at a loss so far. The way it looks, we'll just have to wait until we finally stumble across a clue.
Isn't this
The militia is pretty useless if you ask me. They're never going to clear this up. The missing people have just vanished into thin air.
You should enough trouble as it is. That doesn't amaze me. I've got my own opinion about that. Nothing's ever going to change that. Nobody ever asks for my opinion.
So what's your business with Vatras?
I've got this little agreement with the water mages, you see.
What kind of an agreement?
We work for them, and they see to it that our past in the penal colony doesn't get us into trouble.
You're talking about the Ring of Water?
You've heard of it?
Vatras told me about it.
You might have mentioned that right away.
Nobody ever asked for my opinion. Anything's possible.
Vatra.
Getting tired of being... All right, I see your point. I can exert my influence with the mercenaries if you want to join Lee. And I'm sure we can find a way to get you into the monastery soon. But the easiest thing would certainly be for you to join the militia. Which community do you prefer?
So why won't they listen to me?
Oh,
There've been all kinds of rumors. That's not what I heard. You already know what I've that. Why haven't I heard about this before? Let's wait and see what happens. That'll only cause more trouble. Let's wait and see what happens. Don't say.
What do you think this?
It can't go on like this forever. He didn't get that from me.
hey, you!
Hey, if you want to buy fish.
Can you tell me?
Missing people? The sea is treacherous and bound to claim captains of large vessels. And if they don't find any volunteers...
Are you?
Me? No.
Do you know of it?
No idea.
What ship would that have been?
Good question.
That's all just gossip.
Who says things like that?
Tell me that isn't true. I'm not touching that.
It's terrible.
You already know what I think.
Tell me that isn't true. Where did you pick that up then?
What are you cooking there?
Oh, fish soup. It's not all that tasty, but at least it's hot. You can try a plateful, if you like.
What can you tell me?
Most citizens in this town are afraid of thieves. Therefore, it's not a good idea to enter strange houses. But if you're looking for a place to stay overnight, you're welcome to sleep in my hut. There's an
Aren't you
extra
afraid
bed
of
that you
thieves?
can have. The only valuable thing that I ever owned has already been taken. Oh, someone stole my statue.
Could you...
I cook for...
I couldn't care less. You just
have to listen. Where did you pick that up then?
Everybody knows I know.
Let's wait and see what happens.
Same old thing, all. I've got my own opinion about that.
Ah, you've come just in time. I'm in need of an assistant for a magic experiment. I'm sure you're eager to do me a favor for science's sake.
Easy, my friend. First tell me what this is all about.
I have developed a new spell, a spell of oblivion. I've already successfully carried out a few practical applications, but I don't have time to conduct one final test.
What's in it for me if I help you?
I could teach you how to brew potions. I know the recipes for healing and mana essences, and for potions of great speed.
Tell me more about the experiment and the spell.
The spell serves to make somebody forget various events. So far, I have only found it to work when the person in question is angry, for instance. If he has been knocked down or robbed. Even if he has only witnessed such a deed, he will scratch it from his memory.
So I'm supposed to knock somebody down and then put a spell on him?
Yes, I think you get the point. But to make somebody angry, it is enough. So you should pick somebody who's by himself. If there are other people around, you'll just get into trouble with Lord Andre. Also, it makes no sense to cast the spell on someone who's busy attacking you. Wait for the right moment.
All right.
Then take this spell scroll and find yourself a suitable guinea pig. Once you're done, come back and tell me how it went.
I witnessed it myself.
As much.
Honestly,
never thought of
I
that
witnessed it
himself.
myself.
That
was no big
like this
deal.
forever.
Someone's
better
gotta do
off
the work.
myself.
Can I get a drink?
If you have gold, you can even eat here if you like.
That's really
And how's business going?
Ah, don't remind me. Lord Andre is serving free beer. Hardly anybody comes here now, except for the rich people from the upper quarter.
What's wrong with them?
Yeah, some of those. Take that Valentino, for instance. I can't stand the sight of him. But I can't pick my customers. Yeah, I need every coin I can make. What little I had managed to save has been stolen.
You've been wrong.
Yep, some time ago. It was still rather crowded that night, and I was doing the round. I wasn't gone long from behind the counter, but it was long enough for those bastards. I went to see the militia about it. But they couldn't find a thing, of course. Yeah. They prefer to get plastered on free beer.
Tell me about the missing townspeople.
I heard that a lot of them went missing down by the harbor. Small wonder with all that's going on down there. Even Thorben, the carpenter in the lower part of town, has lost his apprentice. Hakon, one of the merchants in the marketplace, had an especially strange tale to tell. He said that there was this fella that he used to bump into every day, and then suddenly he vanished off the face of the earth. He even went to see the militia about it. Townspeople all pretty much panicked that Corinus is a rough city, and many dangers lurk outside her gates. Those who don't stay within the city walls will be attacked by bandits or eaten by wild animals. Yeah, it's that simple.
What is it with this Valentino?
He's filthy rich and has no need to work. And he brags about it to everybody, whether you want to hear it or not. He drinks a lot and always stays until the end, and then early in the morning he totters back to the upper quarter. It's the same every day.
What do I have to do to get into the upper quarter?
Well, you need to be a citizen of the town. Go find some work, preferably with a craftsman in the lower part of town. That'd make you a citizen. Well, and if that's still not enough, go talk to Lord. Maybe he'll let you join the city guard. They can go into the upper quarter, too.
It's the first I've heard of it.
I agree with you. Too much.
Hey!
Goodness, there's a change. That doesn't amaze me.
That's the truth.
Well, what have we here?
Have you no manners? That's disgusting. Oh, is this filthy rabble. Haven't you a job where you ought to be? But I suppose no one would miss a down-at-heel fellow like you, hey? Well, if you had as much gold as I do, you wouldn't have to work either. But you'll never be that rich.
I see I'm gonna have lots of fun with you.
I'm not telling you anything new.
He wants to know.
Do you really believe that?
I asked you who you are.
I am Valentino the Handsome, bon vivant and ladies' man. Poor in cares, rich in wisdom and gold, and the women throw themselves at me. If you have problems, keep them. I don't need them.
I've got no time for things like that.
Is it really true?
Do you have anything else to tell me?
Make yourself popular, never promise anything to anyone, take what you can, and watch out that you don't get into a quarrel with the militia. Or with jealous husbands, of course. They're the worst, let me tell you.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
You don't have to tell me that.
That doesn't amaze me.
That was no big deal.
Hey, you!
These are bad times.
Why haven't I heard about this? I'm no better off myself. Tell me you didn't know.
You still owe me a favor. It is time to pay your debt.
What do you want?
I want my old stall in the marketplace back. Sarah snatched it away from me, but she has had that spot long enough. I want her to give up the stall.
And what's my part in this?
I will give you a letter to stick in her pocket. Then you go to Andre and tell him that Sarah is selling weapons to Onar. She lands in prison. You pocket the bounty, and I get the stall. You have 2 days to accomplish this.
It's gonna get you nervous.
I'm no better off myself. It doesn't surprise me.
Really? How interesting.
What will happen if I refuse to do that?
That would be truly stupid of you, because you see, I know that you're an escaped convict. If that gets around, it could do considerable harm to your situation in the city.
He doesn't see that. He listened to the wrong people.
That's terrible.
All right. right, looks like I've got no choice.
You're a clever lad. Here is the letter.
How am I supposed to foist the letter on her?
Let her show you her wares, and while she does, you hide the letter on her. And bear in mind, I am an influential man in the city, so don't try to play me for a fool.
That's been known a long time.
I've got to go.
Suit yourself.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Corinus. By the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the following decree is hereby enacted. Due to the general situation, the forest and wilderness near the city are to be avoided for your own protection. Furthermore, any contact with the rebuilding peasantry in the surrounding areas is strictly forbidden.